Good evening, Mr. Dayton.
Mr. Whalls. Commander
Welcome to the
Whalls.
Building Walls podcast.
What's up, my man?
Victory.
Victory!
What's his name in the show? It's
Drama.
no, like Tharold or something.
Whatever.
Viking Kings when he goes to France.
If you know,
Viking
you
Quest.
know.
Viking Quest.
Good old Entourage. For all of our listeners understanding that I'm a little late to this party, but I am on the last season of Entourage. And do love myself some Johnny Drama.
It's so awesome. How about when they're playing golf with Brady and Wahlberg?
Yeah, and I love how like Turtle hates him, and then he's like, "Hey, hey man, you should come over." Like Brady's like, "You should come over and hang out with Giselle," and he's like, "Yeah, okay, man, that's cool." And he like immediately turns. He's like, "Yeah, Brady's awesome."
Oh, that's such a good show. But hey, good news. We're going to get this a little more later, but, we got a recession here. How about that? I don't know that it's good news.
Just in time for the NFL season and training camp starting all across the country. Let's come out. But is it really a recession? I mean, I don't know if
the White House does not know.
I don't think the White House identifies as an administration who is in a recession.
So it's the last 10 times there's been a recession. It's been labeled due to 2 straight quarters of negative GDP, which means the economy is shrinking when your gross domestic product is negative.
Correct.
So 2 quarters straight, 2 quarters, half a year of a shrinking economy. And every time that there's been a recession has defined a recession, except for now. Now the Democrats, they're not sure what the term is. They're not sure how to define it.
Well, just because, historically speaking, a recession in the political world might as well be you're voted out. Like,
right.
You're off the island. Bring me your tiki torch. It's time for you to go. That's what happens if you're in charge and you lead the country into a recession based on your policies and procedures or the people you choose for leadership roles. This, historically speaking, it's bad news bears. That's what it is.
Right. And I mean, anyone who knows numbers knows you can spin numbers however you want based on the data, maybe the data size that you're showing, or the amount of data that you show in terms of like different categories. So there's always a way to spin the numbers. But my favorite thing that I read is a post from Joe Biden on Facebook or one of his lackeys that says, "This has been the fastest decline in gas prices ever." Yeah, when gas prices rise to the highest that they've ever been by a long shot, it's not hard to have the greatest decline in the prices ever. But they're still way higher than they should be.
And they definitely. Why are we celebrating $4 gas?
Yeah.
Like, dude, bro, it's like I can't even come up with an analogy that is as terrible as what they have done for that situation. They caused it entirely on their own. It's like making a mess. It's like, why don't you just go shit in the middle of your living room and be like, it's not too bad. Don't step in it. I know it smells bad. We'll clean it up eventually. And instead of just getting rid of it and making the problem better, you just kind of like put a rug over top of it. We're going to put a throw rug here. Yeah, that will soften things out. No, you won't even, after a while, you won't even be able to smell the fact that there's crap all over the place.
Or if you do it enough and you clean up the most amount of crap off your rug ever, you can celebrate the fact that you've cleaned the most amount of crap off anyone's rug ever. Congratulations. Yeah, but you had to take a dump on it in the first place.
Right? I know, right?
That's such a good point.
They make their own mess, and then they're proud of themselves for partially cleaning up their mess. Like, here's a tip. Nobody wants you to shit the bed. Stop it.
That stuff is crazy.
I know, right?
What else is
Anyway, well, we
wild
got a
is
great show. We got a great
we do
show.
got a great
This is
show.
your lineup tonight. Holy cow, dude. This is going to be a good one. We got a good one for you today. That's the Hodge twins. Blast. We love ourselves some Hodge twins. Got a good one.
Have you seen much about this Jim Harbaugh thing and him saying that?
Yeah, I'm in Detroit. Of course, I've seen it. I mean, that's nothing but all over the news here.
Right. I'm just surprised. Have you seen any like articles or things bashing Harbaugh about this or no?
No, I have not.
Wait, oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure because I haven't either. And Jim Harbaugh is also a big Democratic donor.
Yes. We like your money, Jim. Could you please stop talking about this just for a little bit? Maybe
Right.
until after November. Maybe you, Jim, pay more attention to football.
So just like think about the kind of guy that he is, right? He was having dinner parties with the Clintons before the 2016 election and stuff like that. He's been known to donate to Democratic causes, and now he just comes out and says that the unborn should be, everyone has like a special role. He said if a kid on his team is going to have an abortion, him and his wife will take on the kid themselves, which is a very noble thing to come out and say, but it's very anti-democratic.
Yeah, it does
so it's
not
just
line up with their narrative.
Shocking that he's not taking a bunch of flack over this. What do you think?
Well, one, good for him for saying what
Absolutely.
he truly believes, and then also providing a solution. You know, that, I mean, a lot of people just run their mouth and then they don't really want to have a solution. And then if there is a solution, they don't want to participate in the solution. It's kind of like the open border thing. Like, Washington, D.C. and New York City are all bent out of shape right now because illegal immigrants are flooding their city because the border states are sending all the people their way. And it's like, now you want to pay attention to that problem. Well, here's a coach of a major university and a major football program that won the Big Ten last year, is one of the playoff, teams from last year, coming out into preseason and chiming in and saying, hey, this is an issue we have in our culture, in our community, and it's important, that we provide a solution. And if you want to have a kid and you feel like you should have an abortion, but I think outside of, the situations where rape or a medical situation or incest, which are, as we know, statistically incredibly unlikely. So the situations he's dealing with are, football players who, go out for a night of partying and they sleep with a girl and she gets pregnant. And they go, oh, God, I don't know if we should be responsible for having this kid. He's saying, have the kid. That kid deserves to live. Shouldn't be punished for your indiscretions or lack of planning or lack of just discipline. So he's giving a way out. He's providing a pathway forward. Good for him.
It's such a great point, is that the main thing that he did there is provide a solution, right? It doesn't just say that we need lower gas prices. We need to care for this subset of people or this class of people or whoever. He actually provided a solution to how to overcome the issue. And he didn't say that everyone else has to do that too. He just said, hey, I will take on that. Correct. That's class A leadership. If you just imagine, if
say
you
what
could
you want about
that,
him, and for the record, I am not a Jim Harbaugh fan. In fact, I can't really stand the guy, except for the fact that I love that he's at Michigan and coaching, because we beat him at Michigan State here. Like, oh, what's up?
I was waiting for you to say something.
We do pretty good against old Jimbo there. So as long as he wants to stay there, God bless him. And, good for him. He beat Ohio State 1 out of 7 times. Awesome. You're crushing it. But maybe he goes on a nice run here. But, either way, I'm with you, dude. It is exactly the kind of leadership that we need, and what we need to see moving forward is people stepping up and providing an opportunity.
Yeah, I was listening to the Hannity show on the radio earlier, And it's just so funny that this conversation's come up. This lady calls in and is bawling and was just saying how she's 60 years old now. When she was 14 years old, that she had an abortion, and that ever since she's been trying to forgive herself and just can't.
Jeez.
And I'm not going to go into any more than that, but the whole point that I'm taking away from it is the fact that I don't think we talk enough about what abortion does to women from a mental health perspective, because everyone wants to talk about mental health, but they don't really care about your mental health if you disagree with them. Right. If you're going through a struggling time because you chose not to have an abortion, well, hey, should have had an abortion. Like, no, that's not. Right. Why don't we talk about both sides of it? Stop just trying to push someone towards your narrative. And it's like we chatted about last week a little bit. We need to get away from, just because Jim Harbaugh is a Democratic donor doesn't mean that he can't have some conservative views, right? And vice versa. Just because I vote conservative doesn't mean that I hate gay people or anybody in the LGBT community or anything like that. If they want to get married, go ahead and get married. Do what you're gonna do.
Yeah, it's like everybody freaking out. This is a good one, and we're talking because you and I are both in alignment on this, and that was well said. Is that we're both definitely conservative, and when the Roe versus Wade thing happened, everybody was like, what's next? What's next? They're coming after gay marriage. They're gonna come after that entire community. And quite frankly, I will be absolutely pissed if that is the agenda, because I do not subscribe to that. And just because I am pro life does not mean that I am anti-gay. And I just let people be. You know what? I'm not coming after your lifestyle. You want to live a certain way? Do you? The line for me is when a life is being ended. You're terminating an unborn child. And that's the line. Outside of that, no, I don't want the Supreme Court to overrule gay marriage. I think if you want to get married and you're gay, awesome.
I don't think it's on the docket either. Like, I have not heard of any discussion around this.
But it would be awesome if it was, if it gets to that point and then they rule appropriately and go, yeah, no, that's fine. Like, that's the line. We're not, like, settle down, everybody. We can still actually all coexist together. And
I hate the bumper stickers that say coexist.
Oh, I do too.
Every time someone says that, it makes me, I can just see the bumper sticker.
I know. It's terrible. Because those people are always the rudest people too, and the most unlikely to actually be congenial to one another.
Yeah.
They always cut people off. I literally had a person who had a coexist bumper sticker on, and they gave me the finger. This is like a couple months ago. I forgot to tell you about it, but it was awesome. It was really awesome. Really? You're going to give me the finger right now? You got your little sticker on there? But who knows? Maybe it wasn't their car.
Maybe it wasn't their car.
They're themselves wearing a mask.
Or they bought it used and I forgot to take it off, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I agree, dude. Yeah, just because, and this is the problem with the two-party system. You get lumped into all these things. Like, I'm on conservative side of things, and people think that's anti-education, anti-public schools. And it's like, no, I am incredibly pro-public schools. And I just, I think the curriculum needs to be worked on. But I still think public schools and our tax dollars and doing a communal education is incredibly important. But we got to up our game with the education part of it. And what's the curriculum? Because we're falling behind, and we're too lax, and we're too focused on things that don't matter. So, like, what identity, gender you think you are? Sorry, I'll finish my thought there.
You're good. Listen to this. I found out the other day. So, in terms of getting your CWP in the state of South Carolina, you have to take a class. Then, after you take the class, you get that form. You have to qualify. You have to show that you can at least know how to handle a pistol and know how to shoot a pistol. And then you go to an Identigo location.
Okay.
So from Identigo takes your fingerprints electronically, and then from that point on, you don't pay any money further. It gets sent to the state, or SLED, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. And from what I understand is there was a law that was passed. They used taxpayer dollars for this. And I can see some of those liberals probably just screaming in their heads, or probably screaming out loud too. But think about it. If you're so pro-government, what a better way to get people's fingerprints and to confirm their identity and the fact that they have firearms than to let them freely go to a government sanctioned place, get their fingerprints taken, and then you can compile all the data because it comes to you. Like, what a better way for the government to spy on you and know who you are. It's like the best of both worlds almost.
I know. I had a guy call me today for real estate stuff. He was trying to sell me on how my presence on LinkedIn wasn't robust enough, or actually, he didn't say LinkedIn. He said that afterwards, but he said my social media presence wasn't solid enough, and I don't have enough content. And he was having a hard time finding me. And but that if I hired him and his company, my SEO search would be up and I would have all these leads. And I ended up calling my boy Aaron Bedore after that, good old Aaron, who is our in-house marketing guru. And he laughed and he goes, I'm just curious, like if his stuff works so good and his SEO search and all his content was so great that it was driving people to him, why is he calling you? Cold calling you. And I was like, dude, that is savage level right there. That's so great. But dude, isn't that what everybody does? Like they pitch their stuff, but they don't really believe it. Doesn't really mean for them.
Right. By the way, I searched your name. I think I found you pretty easy here, but there's a lot of Christopher Daytons. So
is there? Wow.
That makes it tough. But when you put in a very broad search, such as a name that's, I don't want to say fairly common, but it's, you don't have like a goofy spelling of your name or anything like that.
Right.
Then the chances of finding other people who have the same name. Now, if I put Chris Dayton, real estate, Michigan,
it's going to come up pretty quick.
Fairly broad, but if someone's actually searching for you on the interwebs, let's see, real estate, Michigan.
Hopefully nothing bad comes up. This is going to be awkward.
Wow, look, the first link, Christopher Dayton, Mitten Made Properties at EXP. Second link, Christopher Dayton - OnlyFans.
Get out of here. Come on, man. You got me with that one. Crystal France, that one's just for you, sweetheart.
But I mean, if you put in your name and you get a little more specific, no one has issues finding you. That's so funny.
Yeah. If you're looking to buy or sell a house, I don't want anybody just to find me, but if you're like Chris Dayton Real Estate or just whatever.
Right. Now, if you put in my name, because the spelling of my last name's a little funky, chances are you're probably going to find me much easier.
Right.
There's not too many people with the spelling of my last name in the U.S. As a matter of fact, I think there's less than 30.
Wrenching walls.
It's
nice.
So,
building walls, wrenching walls, whatever.
Yeah,
we're on. But you know what time it is, dude? It's time for the weekly rant. Let's go.
I don't want to get too much into this. It made me think, because I've had a few experiences with this in the past few weeks, and you've had some too recently in your life, where someone always says like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and pray. I'll pray about it. God, he was.
I want to interject right now. I would like to just pray over this rant. Lord, please deliver the rant. Speak through my boy Chad right now and let it come crystal clear. Holy Spirit, come through, speak through my man, and let it come out.
See, now that I'll take that all day. But when someone comes and says, hey, I'm going to pray about it, like decisions in life, I'm going to pray about it, especially decisions that aren't very, like, it doesn't matter if you did one thing or the other. Or when they tell you that they heard from God, this is what God's telling them to do. Like as soon as someone says stuff like that, and I'm a Christian, born again Christian, I love Jesus, I've been saved, all that stuff. I believe in speaking in tongues, just like the Bible says, just to lay it out there that I'm not, speaking out of one side of my mouth here, but not a believer myself type of thing. But when people say stuff like that, I get very, very skeptical, because so many times, how many stories have you heard about someone who's no longer in the church, right? I don't believe in God anymore. I love when people say it. I would say, oh, why? Like, what's your story? I'm just curious. I'm not out there trying to convert anybody. But when they say that, I always know there's going to be an issue with a parent or something they heard in the church, or it always deals with a human being. And that human being, well, I knew someone in my life who always said that they would pray about it and God will provide. Yet, they're broke. They're broke their whole life. They're always running into stuff. They never have enough money to do anything, but they say God always provides. Yeah, it's like all this stuff is taken way out of context of what it is. Well, I had a guy arguing with me earlier and telling me that he is a prophetic man of God. He knows the prophetic word of God. I'm like, oh, really? I want to be like, so why did God tell you to drive 60 miles when you had an issue with your vehicle if it was so unsafe? Like, what are you praying over?
Well, through the valley of the shadow of death, I made it.
But I mean, what is the prophecy here, right? What is the prophecy? And then when people say that, right, and then they come at you with a harsh tongue, please tell me in the Bible where where Jesus said, if someone wrongs you, come at them with a harsh tongue and make them bend to your will. No one ever said that. Jesus never said that in the Bible. Not once did he talk about coming at someone with a harsh tongue who wronged them. He said, forgive them 70 times, right? Over and over again, continue to forgive. I think that's the second chapter in James talks about speaking with a soft tongue. When you're afflicted. It drives me insane when I hear stuff like that, because that's what drives people away from Christianity. That's what drives people away from anything like that in life. It's not Christianity or anything like that. It's you, right? You're not God himself. And if you're gonna, or like the other thing that you were telling me about, when someone says they hear the word of God and they tell you, well, God's saying you should do this. And then the next day it's, well, no, actually God's saying you should do this. Well, so are you actually listening to the word of God? Are you hearing the word of God? Because I mean, it would be great if he came down like on our podcast right now and was like, Chris, this is God. But that doesn't happen. And I just think it's such a sensitive thing that we need to be very cautious as believers when it comes to stuff like this, because that's what can turn away someone from the word of God. And that might be the difference point for them in life. But don't start throwing around all these things that you're so high and mighty. That is literally the exact opposite of what Jesus did when he walked the earth. Jesus did not go around saying that he's the mighty king, right? He was pouring myrrh on the feet of his disciples, on the feet of anyone, and was washing their feet. He literally made himself the least of these. That's all I got, man.
That's good. Man, that's good. I love the rant.
Thanks for praying over it. That's what I needed.
I felt it. I could tell.
That's what I needed.
You need sometimes to just step back and realize that it is possible that God could join our podcast. In fact, next week on this show, we're going to have Dean Gazowski. who is a prophetic man of God himself, my man.
That was the best. That was the best segue ever.
That might go down in show history as one of the best segues and intros for a guest that we're gonna have.
From Jesus to anybody else.
But Dean,
This time
actually,
it's Dean.
Dean showed me a video a long time. This is this had to be like 15, maybe even 20 years ago. Like right when videos and stuff were starting to come out. But there was a video of this guy, and he was going on and on. It was like talking about Jesus, and he's like, Jesus is Lord over every damn thing in between, from this one to that. This, and he's like swearing and cussing up, and it was just crazy preacher, dude. And the truth is that Dean and I have laughed very hysterically over that at that time. And then the only other thing that Dean always gets me with is gator stuff, man. He knows that I get freaked out by alligators, so he occasionally likes to send me videos of like alligators attacking and ripping people's arms off and stuff like that.
Gator don't play no games.
Gator don't play no shit. You feel me? Gator never been about playing no shit. No, dude, it's a good rant though, but dude, and that's a very rantable topic because you're not wrong.
We could probably talk all night about that.
Dude, I mean, because when someone goes, well, God told me, that this is what's supposed to happen. But you're like, but I'm, the decision maker, and it's not going to happen. So does that mean that God is a liar? Does that mean that you didn't really hear that from God? There's a lot of, like you said, you're suspicious of those people, and I like to call it sus. Like, oh,
sus.
You're a real sus.
So why do you think people throw that around just to like put fear in you?
Well, I think it's a measure of control. I mean, because whenever you're going back and forth, who am I to say that God didn't tell him that? Because I'm not God. For all I know, that is exactly what it is.
That's very true, because you can't question that. Because it's a personal
because
thing.
if I am, well, now I'm questioning the word of God, according to that person, of course, because God didn't say it to me. And so here we are in the old Mexican chicken standoff, like, let's go.
It's a Mexican standoff.
I guess my God is saying different things than your God. And if we're saying that it's the same God, that's awkward.
But our God is an awesome God.
He reigns.
I'm so glad.
And you know what?
You got that.
I have been praying to God too, to help me Lord, deliver to me the numbers that I need to play coming up for the Mega Millions, baby. Because you know what, dude? And I saw this, and I shifted gears. I do want to say this, that now the Mega Millions is over $1 billion. $1 billion.
That's inflation.
And you know what the odds of you winning are equivalent to?
I think you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning 3 times in your life than winning the Mega Millions.
And the Lions winning the Super Bowl.
Not this year, though, baby. Not this year.
I'm voting the Lions. I'm counting on the Lions to get it done. You're going to watch Hard Knocks on HBO. See the behind the scenes.
Oh, that's right.
Passion.
That's right.
Behind the Lions and that organization. And we'll all know before the season starts, because we'll have a back, a view behind the scenes. We'll know that it's not going to happen this year.
So, did you get your ticket?
Not yet, but I'm going to, dude. $1 billion. You can't win if you don't play.
That's true. You miss 100%.
Scared money don't make money. Scared money don't make money.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right?
So, dude, let's just entertain this, like for just whatever. I mean, I know you've thought about it. Like if you came into something like that, like one life-changing money. Honest to God, you're talking about handing
the cash payout. I think is $602 million is the cash payout.
Is that what it is? Yeah. I mean, I would imagine something like that. But okay, so then you even pay taxes on that, and let's just round it up to like, okay, you're gonna pay I don't know. Are you going to pay your fair share at that point? You're paying $100 million.
Yeah, you're paying your fair share.
Is that your fair share there, Nancy? Is that going to be the fair share?
What's the first thing that you're doing? Dude, I'm buying a ticket to Omaha for me and you.
You're going to come to Omaha with a $600 million ticket? We're going to go to
Lucky
B-Dubs?
Strike or whatever that place is. Oh, yeah, of course we're going to B-Dubs. Absolutely.
That's number one. You can't not go to B-Dubs.
Bought a B-Dubs.
We're all going to
there you go. Buy a B-Dubs. That's only like $6 million. You're good.
Come join us.
All you got to do is do what I did, which is just pray.
You just got to tune in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm praising Jesus first.
God, the word is God. He told me what the numbers were, and he knew that I was going to give 10% of this to the church, and that's why he blessed me with this money.
What is that motion?
That's him ringing the bell.
No,
he's ringing the bell.
Into your ear? Into your ear?
Yeah, no. I won't be playing the lottery personally because
I would actually probably.
Oh, go ahead.
Mexican standoff.
The first thing I would do is I was gonna say that the first thing I would do is set up some sort of trust. I would put all the money into a trust with bylaws and who could access it, and then have it have disbursements. Yeah.
Yep.
To whatever entities I wanted to.
Kind of like crypto mining racks. Get your quarterly disbursements of crypto. CryptoMiningRacks.com. There it is.
Look at
ready. He's ready. I love it.
TA, you are so fast on that. Like, we're going to talk about our company. Yeah. Crypto mining.
I think he's got one of those little boards, and if he hits like a certain button, it just shows it up on the
that's exactly it.
Straight up commercial. Look at that.
That's awesome. Exactly I love it.
Legendary.
Dude.
Oh my God, so good.
Start your crypto mining today.
Easy start. It's an easy start to get in and start doing some mining, and that's where it's at right now.
Cost.
Crypto in the tank. Let's go. Time to mine.
You're just accumulating wealth.
Correct.
Accumulating wealth because
Bitcoin
takes off.
Fiat system. As my boy Brandon Gentili would say, you got to hedge against all the fiat systems out there. Don't let the empires, crash around you. We're going to be able to hedge, take protection, take your life into control of yourself, and start mining today.
I love it. Dude, we need to get him back on the show too, Gentili. And we need to get Bador.
We do need Bador. Maybe I'll get both those guys.
That'd be great.
But anyway, what would you do with your winnings? Let's go. I want to know.
What are you going to do? I'm going to Omaha, dude. I'm going to B-Dubs.
I know you're
going to
go
visit Financial Jesus.
Financial Jesus.
Because it makes sense. Financial Jesus. I prayed over it. Finances.
Well, make sure you give Financial Jesus 10% of that.
That's right.
$6 million. Got to hand it over. Got to give your tithe and offering.
Dude, to be honest, the first thing I would do, I'd be like, Dayton, Matt, love you guys. We're in this together. Here you go.
So just for, TA, maybe go back to school and learn what 10% is, because this is why you're probably not blessed, because 6 million is only 10% of 60 million.
You're right.
Not 600 million. So you keep robbing from God, and I don't understand why you have all these things coming against you, and the roaring lion is out to get you. You maybe just want to reevaluate some of
devouring his own
that you're giving. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I just want to put that on
the dude. That's so great.
I guess
that is so great.
Yeah, that was bad. Whoops. I'm usually better at math than that.
When you have that much money, though, for real. Okay, so if you have that much money, clearly you do all the things like, I'm going to hook up all my friends. I'm going to take care of my family. I'm going to, all the things. Nobody in my sphere is going to need to have any debt or anything like that. And then but what causes do you give to? Because it's eventually there's that's so much money.
Dude,
if I had that much money, the first thing I'm going to do.
Dude, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I should have saved that for next week's episode with Dean.
Oh, I hate you so much. What would you do? Just get back on the damn show track.
If I won the millions, what I would do, first thing I would do is any outstanding debt that I had would get paid off. Whatever that is. Period, end of story. Absolutely. Doesn't matter what it is. Get it paid off. I would then ensure that I have at least with 600 million, I would have $1 million liquid cash at my disposal at any given point in time. Then I would change my name because I am disappearing. Because I want no one to find out that I have that kind of money.
Just going off the grid.
Okay, attack helicopter. They already think attack helicopters are about 60 million.
Yeah. No, but I would try and keep it as hidden from people as possible, because at the end of the day, people, when you have money, the downside is people treat you differently and then start expecting things from you. And, you know, unfortunately, sometimes I think there is the reason
prophesying as the word of the man of God.
I could double that money in a couple of years, just build a mega church and start preaching fallacies and get on TV, and I'll be richer than that lottery money could ever make me.
Whoa. Oh, that's a topic for another day.
That's next week. Tuning in next week to see whether or not crypto mining racks is still in business after God's wrath.
Oh, man.
What would you do, though, Dayton?
Dude, for real, I would legit, like, and I've got a pretty good tight circle of friends, but, you know, my sisters, any debts that we have, we would all have a clean slate. You know, like literally, I'd be like, okay, just send in all your bills. I would have an administrator who would pay off all of that and just reset the table for everybody. And then I would probably invest in a lot of businesses like crypto mining racks. Because I would want to convert that into crypto.
Or like a warehouse.
Yep, I would. You know, you buy a house, you do whatever. You don't have to go crazy or whatever. But I do think, you know, taking care of the people around you and then setting it up to where that base continues to make money, because that you could create legacy money. You know, even you're thinking about like, okay, if you had $500 million in the bank after everything, and you've paid off all this stuff, and you're just getting a 5% return, that's $25 million a year.
I would say even a 1% return, right? So you live off of 1, and then the other 4 continues to accumulate, or you can give it to charitable causes.
Right. You start just giving, you know, away money. I would do it pretty anonymously, you know, because then you don't want that paper trail essentially of.
Yeah, you're not looking to get a tax return at that point.
You know, who cares?
I mean, a tax write-off rather.
Yeah, I would keep working. People ask that question all the time. Would you keep working? I probably wouldn't do what I'm doing.
Right.
But I would want to do something, you know.
You have to work at something throughout life.
I'm not going to sit around and lay down a bag of, you know, a beanbag eating Cheetos playing PlayStation.
Dude, but what if it was like an entourage thing where we buy a Class A camper, just hang out with the boys, do whatever we want, travel across the world, across the country with your entourage.
Dude, I mean, I'd basically have
make your own movie, call it Men of Ian. Watch it be god awful.
As long as we can find our Billy.
Yeah, Billy Walsh. Well, hey, let's get into Chris's corner here. I'm excited for this part. I want to see you get fired up.
I'm already jacked up.
So there's this story came out. I want to know, Christopher, because you are a TikTok user. I am not. Joe Rogan slams TikTok, saying it all ends with China having all of your data because it's a Chinese-owned company, and at the end of the day, the CCP has access to any China-owned company. So are you afraid about China having your data?
Well, I mean, our data shows that we're in a recession.
Depending on who you ask.
Depends on who you ask. I mean, what data are they really getting? Are they getting like the little girl who's going to do a little TikTok dance? I don't know what data they're getting that is going to move the needle in any which way. Where we're at, you know, who's got what are they talking about? Maybe they're just finding out that America's crazy. Like that they're never going to invade us because there's a nut job in, you know, wherever, Kansas City, you know, like they're never going to get into the heartland of America. Well, I just don't know what data. Everybody's like, are you worried about China having your data? I don't know. Is China worried about us having their data? You think we don't have their data? Get out of here. We know what we want to know about China, except for the origins of COVID and other things.
Anywho.
That's funny.
So now this is your time to shine. The floor is yours. You can this next guy speak all night if he wants. The Biden admin cannot define a recession, but the last 10 recessions have all been defined by a singular thing, which is 2 straight quarters of negative GDP. So what do you think is like the cover up here, or where is the Biden administration trying to go by saying that it's not a recession?
So here's the conflict that I have, because Biden has been in political office, like for 47, 48 years now. It's some crazy number, right? So you can't really say he's the new kid on the block and he's like learning on the job and he doesn't know what he's doing, and it's it's bad, but it's getting better, right? Kind of like if you hire somebody, like Chad, you got a place, you hire somebody, a tech or whatever, and they just don't really, they know a little bit about cars, but they don't know quite how to efficiently work through the problems and get them turned out to where it's profitable. But they're learning, so maybe you take a loss, for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and you have a choice. You're like, all right, do I cut this guy loose, or am I invested now where this person now knows what they're doing and we're going to be back on track? We're going to be profitable. We're going to be moving forward. And that could be made the argument if Biden was never in office and just didn't know what he's doing. He's putting all these people around him, just didn't know what he's doing. In fact, that's probably what could have been said about Trump. Never been in political office, didn't know what he was doing, didn't have all the levers. But in fact, he does know how to run a company. Trump does know how to run big business. And that was the big knock, is Trump treated the United States government like a company and ran it like a company. And you really can't do that because people are voted in and there's a little bit more balance to that. And you can't just fire people because you want to fire people. Sometimes they're elected in. You got to do the elections. He didn't want to do that. And that's what got him into a lot of trouble, is he kind of approached things. And he would even with the DOJ, and he's telling them what to do. And it's you can't do that. That's not your role. Even though you're I'm the head of the company. I'm the president of the United States. The company's name is the United States of America. And we're going to run this right now. You just can't do that. So do I think the Biden admin is doing a cover up? Not really. I really don't. I just think they're incompetent. And they're, just because somebody, has stupid results doesn't mean that they're doing it maliciously. I just think they're stupid. And I think he surrounds himself with a lot of stupid people. And so it creates an echo chamber of stupidity. And they just won't get out of their own way.
As Forrest Gump's mom said, stupid is as stupid does.
Now, what I will say really about this, though, and it's important to know that, as a background in economics, that yes, the energy sector is what is really crushing the economy right now. So it's leading the way on the losses, and you see all that. But a lot of the things that they started doing, earlier in the year with some of the interest rates and some supply chain things are actually moving some of the other sectors in the right direction, and there is positive growth. So I don't think we should be, chicken little, the sky is falling. And that's where I think the Biden administration is coming from, is they're like, look, we're not where we want to be, but it's not like the Titanic. We're not going to be out of business, in the next month or even the next 2 years.
Very, very good. So to move on to some other topics here. What was that? Okay. So the 49ers are moving on from Garoppolo. I think it's a good move for him.
Where's he going?
So I don't know, but there was an interview between Garoppolo, or a meeting between Garoppolo, Lynch, and Shanahan the other day. And after the meeting, Shanahan came out and said, time to move on.
Did he just want too much? Or
I don't know. Do you think this is a good move for the Niners?
Well, yeah. I guess if that's the question, then yes. I think that ship has sailed. I think they know what Garoppolo is. And I think that they know that they can't get to where they want to be with Garoppolo. So they have to move in a different direction. And they've got, good young talent on that team. Plus, I mean, if they want any chance of like salvaging Deebo Samuel and appeasing that, you got to get somebody in there with some talent that match that talent. Talent begets talent. That's why Julio Jones went to go play with Tom Brady.
Super Bowl.
Bowl.
Was that going to be number?
But the Lions are going to win.
Is that going to be number 8 for Brady?
Oh, dude!
Right?
If he stays healthy, my fear is that somebody is going to line him up and just level him so hard. And
that body is so pure.
I don't care. You're still
so
45.
Pure.
He's 45. He's
That's
my age.
true. He's freaking old, dude.
He's for
he's
football
quarterback. That is.
He for the love of God, and you're in a position where you could get decked. You could get blindsided. I can't even imagine if I got hit by an NFL player right now, like full speed, and I'm a big dude. I'm 6'3", 270 pounds. If I got hit by an NFL player, I might die. I could actually die. My back might be shattered. I could be a paraplegic for the rest of my life. You can just roll me out and just call me Vegetable Dayton.
That's very offensive to all the vegetables out there.
Okay. As Matt Gates says, be offended.
Dude, that interview was so awesome. What was the question like, Matt? What do you think about, what was it?
What do you say about people who are offended at your comments about women or being overweight or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Be offended.
So awesome, dude.
We need a lot more of that.
Awesome.
We need a lot more of that.
Yeah, because it's like the whole thing of, like women loving their bodies and this and that and the other. And yes, you should love yourself for where you are at that point in life. But there's nothing healthy about being grossly overweight. There's nothing healthy about that. That's very unsafe for your life.
Dude.
Now, you don't have to be super skinny either. That's very
Who's the comedian?
Unhealthy.
Bill Burr? Is it Bill Burr? Is that the guy?
Probably.
The comedian? But he has a whole rant on this. He's like, look, I didn't make you fat. In fact, he goes on this whole thing. It's hilarious. And I totally agree with him in that, like, dude, stop putting a ho-ho in your mouth. Try some lettuce and go for a walk. You can reverse this pattern and come join the skinny people. You don't have to be fat. You're choosing that. And that's not my problem. And so if you want to be fat, then fine. But I'm going to shame the shit out of you. I was like, oh, that's funny. He's not wrong. I mean, unless you have an actual medical disorder, okay. But those are, again, few and far between.
Right.
The medical disorder is not you cramming, 4 McChicken sandwiches down your gullet and then being like, why am I fat? Well, no kidding.
I love me a McChicken.
I know you do.
But Mr. Producer, cue that next video up if you could. I know it's a Facebook link. But Dayton, I want to know, the last question here is, would you do something like this for extra money?
Well, we'll see. I don't even know what it is.
I found the shitty side gig ever. I found the shitty side gig ever.
Would you donate your stools for money?
I don't know who thinks of this crap.
I don't know
yes, I would.
I just, if you're out there, you're looking to make a few extra bucks. I came across it on the internet.
Who's doing that? Where?
It's
where?
like you
Why?
send it to like a science program. Oh yeah, here it is, openbiome.org. That way they can
Is it
study
Chinese?
stools.
Are they going to get our
They're
data
collecting
and
it.
our crap?
Apply to become a poop with purpose stool donor.
Because that was a TikTok, right? That was just a TikTok. So China,
Yeah, it was a
now has
reel
the
on
data.
Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not a TikToker.
Oh, man.
I let Facebook have all my data.
Instagram. It's got to go on the line.
On the line, like you take a picture, then you can instantaneously upload it on the internet.
On the line.
Yeah, on the line. Yeah, they have that. It's called Instagram. No.
Oh, mine's totally different.
Yeah.
You're not listening to me, man.
Such a good movie. What is that called?
The Internship.
Yeah, the Internship. That's great.
It's like Trailer Park Wedding Crashers.
Yeah. Trailer Park Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, but dude, I don't know. Would you do it for extra money? I probably would. Somebody said, "Yeah, I'll give you $500 for you to drop a deuce." I mean, it's the old Tommy boy. If you want me to put a crap in a box and mark it guaranteed, I will. I got extra time.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, I think I would. It just feel really weird to poop with a purpose like that,
It's like giving a
so-
sperm sample.
Yeah,
ever have
I
to do
was
that?
no, but my doctor when I was younger wanted me to do a stool sample with this at-home testing kit to see if I had like GI issues. And that was the weirdest thing ever. I had to literally like catch poop on a swab and swab it on this thing, and it was just so awkward. I felt like I don't really know what to do now. I got to catch poop on a thing and then take samples, and this is just really, really weird.
Just grab a diaper.
Kind of grosses me out. But then you have kids, and it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, there you go. Chris's corner is complete for another week.
That was awesome. Just loved listening to you roll. Just let you go all night.
I know. Tip your waiters and waitresses.
Yeah, so I don't have anything good. I didn't come up with a life topic to end our show here for the week.
It's okay. We've got guests lined up for next week. So
yeah,
the life topic will be build your association. And
it's all about who you associate with.
What's
that phrase? Your income is the average of the 5 people you associate most with.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I always say sorry to my 5 people. I'm so sorry. I wish I was better.
I mean, somebody's got to be the low man on the totem pole, right?
Every time.
So just make sure you associate with 4 others who make more money than you do.
I do.
There you go.
It's always tough when I'm hanging out with Lou Ronay and I'm like, I'm so sorry, my man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I love Lou.
Sweet Lou, he's awesome. Anyway,
talk about just a wholesome guy.
He is.
For a life topic, model your life after someone like Lou Ronay.
That's a fact.
He's got amazing kids, an amazing wife, amazing family all around.
Grandkids.
Yeah, the guy's just a giver.
Build out a real estate legacy that's gonna has impacted
awesome.
me. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's truly a blessing to be in business with people like that. That's for sure.
Good old Lou.
All right, man. Well, until next week.
We'll have to make a segment of that just so we can send it to Lou.
Yeah, there we go.
Until next time, Commander.
Commander Whalls, under his eye.
Praise be.